This is the Realme 10 Pro, a budget-oriented mid-ranger with a high-res 108-megapixel camera. This phone also promises some nice upgrades over the previous model. I'm Will for GSM Arena, and let's see what the Realme 10 Pro is all about in our full review. Realme has introduced quite a few changes with this new Realme 10 Pro. There's a new design, new speakers, and an upgraded display. Maybe the most notable upgrade though is the new 108-megapixel main cam, the same as on the Realme 10 Pro Plus. The Realme 10 Pro is made from plastic, and unlike the previous model, this one brings a flat frame with a sharp edge that lends a bit of extra grip. The phone is also a bit lighter and slightly more compact this time around, despite having a larger display. The screen is a 6.72-inch IPS LCD with a 1080p resolution and a fast 120Hz refresh rate. You don't get AMOLED tech here like you do on the more expensive Realme 10 Pro Plus, and the blacks aren't as deep. The panel is plenty sharp, but the color accuracy isn't great. You do get decent brightness for an LCD. We measured up to 590 nits with a manual brightness slider, and this can boost to 620 nits in auto mode and bright sun. And of course, it is nice to have a 120Hz refresh rate for smoothing out your swiping and scrolling, and this can dial down to 60Hz to save energy when you stop touching it. Unlike the previous model, you get a pair of stereo speakers this time around. They're pretty loud, but sound quality is unimpressive, lacking in bass and mids too.
I'm wide awake, but you're a nightmare.
The phone comes with either 128 or 256 gigs of storage on board, and that is expandable through microSD. And you can wake up and unlock the Realme 10 Pro with a side-mounted fingerprint reader built into the power button. The interface of the Realme 10 Pro is the new Realme UI 4.0 on top of Android 13. It's a straightforward software experience that we actually cover in depth in a separate video. We'll leave a link if you'd like to check it out. There is a difference here though. For some reason, the Realme 10 Pro is missing some of the new features, like large folders and dynamic widgets. The chipset of the Realme 10 Pro is one we've seen quite a bit of lately in the mid-range, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 695. You don't get blazing fast gaming performance, but it's overall solid for the price. There's support for 5G connectivity too, but the ISP doesn't support 4K video recording. Just like the previous model, the Realme 10 Pro packs a 5000 mAh battery, and the battery life here is again excellent, with an overall endurance rating of 127 hours in our tests. You also get the same 33-watt charging as the Realme 9 Pro, and the charging speed is a match, with the new model topping up from 0 to 54% in half an hour. The Realme 10 Pro has one usable camera on the back, with a high-res 108-megapixel sensor. The other camera bump just houses a depth sensor. So you essentially get an upgraded main camera, but miss out on the ultra-wide and macro of the previous model. During the day, the main cam produces nice, detailed 12-megapixel photos, with low noise and adequately wide dynamic range. We like the rendition of fine details too. The processing is quite balanced, though frankly the colors are a bit over the top in certain scenes. There is a 3x zoom toggle, and this zoom is accomplished by cropping from the large sensor. It's not quite lossless. Although we like the detail level here, there is a bit of noise and softness introduced. Portraits taken with the help of the depth sensor have decent edge detection, and if there's plenty of light you can get nice results. However, in less than ideal lighting, the detail level and overall quality diminishes a lot. In low light, the photo quality is decent if you rely on the night mode. It can kick in automatically when the phone detects these sorts of conditions. You get a bright exposure, enough detail even in shadows, good-looking light sources, and well-saturated colors. There's plenty of added sharpness though, which is a bit artificial looking. If you turn off the night mode, the results are underwhelming. The photos are softer and lacking in detail, and the dynamic range is narrow. Selfies from the 16-megapixel front-facing cam are a bit of a letdown. The detail and sharpness could be better, and there's some visible noise. At least the dynamic range is adequate, and the exposure is on point. Like I mentioned, video recording is limited to 1080p resolution on the Realme 10 Pro. The quality from the main cam isn't the best. It's on the soft side. Still, the dynamic range, contrast, and colors are nice. There is electronic stabilization available, and it does smooth things out, but they're still a bit on the jerky side. So that's the Realme 10 Pro. You get good battery life here, and compared to the previous model, there's a larger and brighter display, stereo speakers, and the big selling point, the high-res 108-megapixel camera. Unfortunately, the main cam's performance is limited by the chipset. Video capture isn't great and is capped at 1080p. You can find phones with a better chipset at this price and an OLED display while you're at it. Plus, the speaker quality, the selfie quality, and missing features on the Realme UI also leave more to be desired here. So overall, while the Realme 10 Pro does provide some upgrades, there's better value to be found elsewhere. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're looking for some alternatives to the Realme 10 Pro, you can check out our review of the Realme 9 Pro Plus. Another option could be the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus 5G. Let us know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.